A warm welcome to everyone. I'm Shweta and let me present our team, Shelza, participating in Smart India Hackathon 2020-22 from PSNA College of Engineering and Technology. We intend to provide a solution for the problem statement, prescription drug monitoring, and our code is Sih-Pk895, which comes under the Ministry of Narcotics Control Bureau. Before getting on to the problem statement, we must understand what a prescription drug is, as both the problem statement and the solution revolves around it. Prescription drugs are different from normal drugs, and these drugs are not to be sold to a patient unless they have an authentic prescription given by a certified doctor. Also, the pharmacists have to verify the prescription and the doctor's ID specified in the prescription. Now, let me explain the problem statement, which states that the role players involved in the prescription drug monitoring don't have any system in hand to track the flow of these drugs and to prevent its misuse. Thus, to validate this process and verify the flow of drugs, the intended solution is of two categories. First, to verify the prescription, and the second one is to track the supply chain from the manufacturer who produces the drug to the end user buying these drugs. Based on the solution we offer, we can compact it into four simple points. First, which includes all the actors. For the prescription verification, we have doctor, patient, and pharmacist. And for supply chain tracking, we have manufacturer, wholesaler, and retailer. Thus, all actors are included and their identity is verified through the provision of a unique ID, and only verified personnel are allowed in the chain. Second is to digitalize the data. We digitalize all prescription and drug records to make the system transparent and remove the middleman out of the process. Third is to create a strict pipeline for the transaction between each actor, such as manufacturer to wholesaler, wholesaler to retailer, pharmacist to the patient, and the doctor to patient. And thus we verify each transaction history in real time. Fourth is to report to admin if an anomaly is found. We check the total amount of drugs manufactured to the amount of drugs sold and report to the admin if there is an imbalance found in the system. For using our solution, each actor must register in our app. Before that, they need to choose their roles, whether they are a doctor or a patient or a wholesaler or a retailer or a manufacturer. For example, let's take a doctor. The doctor is registering now. He or she should use their name, hospital name, doctor ID, email, and password. So once they registered, the doctor can log in. The same process applies to all the actors involved in the system. The doctor is now using his or her email and password to enter into the application. Then we move to the next point of digitalizing the data, digitalizing the prescription, or digitalizing the drug records. You should not receive any hard copy of the prescription, but we found a problem here. What if the doctor's credentials are stolen? It may lead to forging of prescription. So this can be avoided by validating the prescription. Here, we are validating the prescription by using the doctor's fingerprint. When the doctor finishes entering the prescription in the given UI, then the doctor has to use his or her fingerprint to validate the prescription. Only if the prescription is validated through their fingerprint, the prescription will be stored inside the patient's UI. Next comes the patient. The patient can log in to their account using email ID and password and can view the prescription that is given by the doctor. We have also considered people who don't have enough resource to use our solution. For example, people who don't have a smartphone or who don't have a stable internet connection. Thus, we are not forcing every patient to use our software to get involved. Instead, we are creating a default account for those patients with their Aadhaar cards. So the patient just need to give their Aadhaar card to the doctor and the doctor will enter the needed in their UI. The retailer also follows the same procedure. The retailer can log in with their username and password. The retailer can get either the Aadhaar card or the UID of the patient and they can give the prescribed drug that is provided by the doctor. But here we found a problem. What if the retailer is not loyal, or what if they provide greater than or lesser than the specified amount of drug? So there comes the second part of the problem statement, that is supply chain tracking. Supply chain tracking involves the manufacturer, who manufactures the drugs, and the wholesaler, who buys the stock from the manufacturer and sells it to the retailer and the pharmacist. Since we are placing checkpoint at every level, when the manufacturer produces the drugs and sells them to the wholesaler, they must specify the drug name, the quantity of drug, the batch number with the wholesaler ID to whom they sell. This will be validated by the wholesaler using their fingerprint. Then, the wholesaler will sell these stocks to the retailer where once again they need to enter the drug name, the quantity of the drug, the batch number with the retailer ID to whom they sell. This will be again validated by the retailer using their fingerprint. The main motive of this process is to maintain the balance between the amount of drugs sold and the amount of drug produced. Digitalizing the data makes it more convenient if any anomaly is found in the system in maintaining the balance between every actor involved in the system. It is immediately reported to the admins. Thus, the admin acts as the drug inspector in the system, and we have created an admin interface where they can oversee the whole chain flow using Google Maps or drug records of all the actors involved in the process, such as doctors, patients, wholesaler, and retailers. Once the anomaly is found by the drug inspector, they can take necessary action and the people involved in the imbalance will be notified through the admin interface.